This is a map of New Ireland, which I explained when we were using the movies. And this is a sunrise, I think, or a sunset. I'm not sure anymore. It's been a while since I did that. That's the diocesan boat, the Margaret coming in with a load of people for a celebration. And that's our little Robert, which is about 40 feet long, which we use for work around the islands. There you see how it looks when it comes in for a celebration, or if we have a lot of sick people or other reasons. This is a canoe which Father Joe, they're standing with a dark shirt on, and Father Francis and some of the men carved out of a breadfruit tree. And usually when we're on the sea, the men throw out a fish line. That's Marley Island, taken from the Kunaya area. This is the water supply in Mauhur Island. The water drips off the rocks, and the people come there to fill up their jugs. There, when they have rain in Mauhur, they have the bamboo spout, which takes the water from the roof into the tank. That's our mission plane landing in Landalavet. That was the old airstrip. There's the terminal, and now they have a beautiful new airstrip since they have the mine. These films were taken probably in the 1960s. Sister Leonie, our first local woman, a native woman who became an MSC sister. That's what the dry reef looks like at the main station in Lee here. The old hospital, the maternity ward here on this end, and then the treatment room, the village houses where the people stay who come to look after the sick people when they bring them in. That's the old hospital. In the corner you can see a drum next to the motorbike. That is our water supply. This is the outpatients department with Nora there, a volunteer from Tasmania who came to work with us and to help us for a year. This is what the area looked like when we first started building, with all the rocks left over from the old volcanoes years and years and probably centuries ago. There the children are moving the stones and the rocks. And this is what it looked like when we were finished, with the beautiful mountains in the background and the grass and the lawn. The women's kitchen with Sister Regine there and some of the mothers is actually the maternity kitchen. That's Nora and Bridget are one of our nurses sitting outside. That's my room above them. And that's the inside of the room where I spend the nights, with a remote control for the electricity, which was like heaven. There's little Joe, 2 pounds 9 ounces. That's the old hospital with no electricity. You saw the kerosene lamp there. And this is the new hospital with Mary Mulam giving the treatments to the babies. This is the old hospital again with the bamboo beds. There's Nora and some of the women and baby. There's another picture of the old hospital. You see the bamboo and the open windows and the mothers and the children, compared to the new hospital, which is nice and bright with all the windows, the better beds, and a group of mothers getting ready for baptism or to go home or just to have a picture. The outpatient department in the new hospital. One of the boys is having his sores treated. Mechtilde and some of the mothers are bathing the babies in the new hospital. And the children come from the villages to be weighed and get their immunization injections. I took this picture not for the baby as much as for that in the back where we get our distilled water, the net there on the sticks. Nora with one of our teachers, with Anna, in front of the building where Nora stayed when she was with us. Sister Regine and a couple of children who we kept for a few months to get because they needed extra attention. There again is Francis and Bruno getting up to par. They were actually twins. We had dances every once in a while, And there's a probably a Friday evening dance. Sister Regine in one of the schools, she would visit the teachers and encourage them and help them in the remote areas. Here we are on patrol, going up one of the mountains to another village. And there the mothers and the babies come for the clinic to be treated, to get their injections or any treatment that they need. And a couple times a year we would butcher a cow and freeze the bone out, the meat, and freeze what we could possibly freeze, and then give the rest to the people. Then they would kill it in the afternoon, and then early in the morning we would bone out the meat and pack it. That's the bishop with the red hat here in the corner, coming for a celebration. This was Father Pong's ordination. The women are doing the bot at night, a special dance. There's the priests are blessing Father Andrew, the first ordination of a local man from Lihir Island. The people are doing the Passion in dance, the Passion play. There you see Jesus carrying the cross. And they did it the whole Passion play, the falling and the Veronica in dance and music. For the same occasions, a rhythm band, and we made the uniforms. Here's a village situation where they're having a festival and they're butchering the pigs and getting them ready. There's a mother using the bladder of the pig to make a balloon for the little child for fun, something to play with. A bunch of bananas here in the front, and in the back is the food that's been cooked in hot stones, which is ready to be divided up among the different families. Here's one way to cross a stream. When the bamboos, there's a mother going home with her baby, the way they carry the babies, either in the front or on the back. Here's also another feast. The food has not been cooked. Only the pig has been cooked and moo-mooed. The rest they will take home and cook at home. Probably the villages were very close by, so the people. I took this picture to show you the frame in the back. We put a sheet on that to watch the Roy Roger movies in the early years that we were there. A group of women sitting around, enjoying themselves. There's Bridget and the sitting on the back, and a couple of our nurses and some people from the village visiting. There we're crossing a log to go to the next village to visit the village. That's Father Joe Gleixner having Mass on Massahet Island, where the people gathered for Mass. And now they have a beautiful new church. Father is blessing a marriage, and the people all gather around for the ceremony. And this is after two of the sisters we were there. There's the father with the couples. The other picture was Sister Euphemia and Sister Gertrude. And here's Father with the newlyweds. There's Sister Euphemia and one of our volunteers, with Father getting a sample. That's a church in Malheur. The faces you see, they worship their ancestors first, and then the cross is on top, where they say they now have moved on to worshiping the true God and Jesus. It's Father Joe and Father Francis with Father Tom. This is a cover they use for the big feast. They cover the food, and Father has taken that to the church to use it for the tabernacle. He has made a tabernacle out of that. There's Father dancing in the church, and the children bringing up gifts for the offertory for the Mass. There they are, bringing the offertory gifts, dancing up to the altar. You could see the church was dark, That's Father and his sister, Sister Genevieve. It was, and the little boys doing their gymnastics. That was Father Kalayan before. That's Sister Regine and Sister Leonie and a group of girls in the truck that we were probably going up the hill with. Father Tom, Sister Leonie, Sister Regine, and I in front of the convent. And that's the one in dark, Sister Bernadette, one of the local women. Sister Bernadette joined the community of Daughters of Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. We call them our sisters, our cousins. That's Bruno having a taste of the frosting and having fun. Sister Euphemia, who is very close to the women of the village, they are coming up for a visit. Maybe that was her jubilee. And here's a couple of children at the beach having a good time. There the nurses are breaking the stones from the seashore to catch the overflow from the gutters when it rains. And that's the maternity in Lemacot. These pictures are now from Lemacot. That's a place on New Ireland. That was the main hospital there, the main treatment room. And that's where the School of Nursing is, and there you see the nurses washing their building, their dormitories. Sister Agnes and some of the girls, some of the students emptying the septic tank because they're putting a building over where the septic tank was, and they didn't want to have it under the building. And the girls, you see, that are all helping with in ways that they can for building the new School of Nursing and new dormitories. There you see the builders putting the trusses up for the new dining room and meeting room. And the students help lift the trusses and anchor them in place. We use manpower to do our things, not too many mechanical equipment, not too much equipment there. And the men, Cliff and the boys, taking a break. It's hot. They usually start early in the morning. Here we had a special celebration for when they got the trusses up, a treat for the men, and a celebration that the building is that far along. There's the completed dormitories for the student nurses. And here they are digging the hole for the septic tank. They put the ground in bags and then carry it up the ladder to be dumped. And then they will put the cement in for the septic tank. They pour the cement down that chute you saw in the front, and then here they spread it around. It's the local people doing their laundry in the river. You see the nice clean water there. That's our convent in the background with one of the hospital buses in front of it. And to the right is the vocational school. There we are in the truck going someplace with some of the students. And this is in caving at the MSC Center in Kopkop, where we're getting ready for the retreat. They're bringing their things from from the School of Nursing, putting it in the bus, and then going into Kavieng to Kopkop to the MSC Center, where they will have a retreat and a workshop. That's Father Tom with the nurses. We have 2 retreats every year. These women are coming from 9 different health centers, and then they will have a workshop afterwards. We'd have 2 groups that we can give everybody a chance to come in. That's Sister Agnes, the principal of the School of Nursing, with Mary Mohe, one of our teachers at the school. Here the nurses are dancing into church for the graduation ceremonies. That's Mary on the right? Here they come in, they're carrying their nursing caps, which will be presented to them as part of the ceremony. Mary Mullum there, one of the instructors at the School of Nursing, is putting the hats on the girls as a graduation ceremony. The girls with the hats are the new graduates, and those without are their instructors, Mary and the other. And there's a couple of the volunteers, Sue on the left, and then Potty, who volunteer for 2 or 3 years, depending which organization they're with. Here we're having a fun time. It looks like it might be a birthday. And part of the road, and there the girls are dancing, having a good time after the graduation. The sister Veronica and some of the girls, and Matua, our driver, and Potty and Sue. Time to catch your breath after a hot day working. This is back in Lee here with Ciandondo and some of the people. And one of our little, she was a twin, Germaine, so we kept her until she got bigger that she could go home and join her sister. There she is all dressed up and enjoying life. That's one of the houses outside the old hospital. There's looks like a repeat of the girls doing the walls. This is in town, and is a marketplace in town where the people come with their bananas and their sago and their cocoa and their corn and different fruit to sell as a chance to make money. That's Sister Gertrude and Sister Euphemia sitting along the roadside. I'm not sure what the occasion was, but this is probably Christmas, and we're having a good time with Christmas carols and entertaining ourselves. That's my sister-in-law, Barb. She and my brother came for a visit, and they're doing square dancing. My brother was a square dance caller, so we were having a good time one afternoon. That's our volunteer nursing staff from different countries, many of them, who come and help for 2 or 3 years to train the girls, because we did not have that many educated and qualified. That's my brother George with his wife Barb. They came for a visit, and this looked like it was a farewell party for them. This is the Guinea Martyrs. We're back in the Rabaul area now. This is the sea on the way to Rabaul. You see the tunnels in the distance, and that blue lagoon, which is very deep. We had a special chapel to Peter Torot, who was our martyr, who was killed by the Japanese and beatified in 1994. This is a special little chapel built at his cathedral there. These are paintings inside that chapel dedicated to Peter Torot. There he is baptizing. The other was a symbol of baptism of Moses crossing the Red Sea. And here Peter Torot, a picture of him bringing the Eucharist to the sick. Pictures are from St. Paul's Mission in the Guinea Mountains, where we have the martyrs. There's Father Rasher, who was martyred, and then his body was brought down from the mountains. They were martyred in Bunamarita. They were only allowed to bring his body down, and then the people who killed them forbade them to take the other martyrs. There they have a special church at the mission in Bunamarita, which was probably built in the later years. When the martyrdom took place, 2 of our sisters were already down at the beach, and so the natives took them